Hello everyone, it is Friday, June 7th, 2019, of course. Wednesday was New Comic Book Day, and this was the first opportunity I had to do a video. So we're going to jump right into the books because there were a lot of them this week. So again, like always, in no particular order, here we go. Book number 1, Jughead the Hunger versus Vampironica. Number 2, strictly a cover purchase. Right there, really nice looking book. Deadpool Marvels number 13. Really nice cover there. Scarlet Witch and Vision. The Hot book that was blowing off the shelves because people didn't realize it, but you should have known from the last issue, which was Walking Dead 192, Death of Rick. I liked the way they ended his life right there. It was a pretty cool concept. So there is that there, the blank cover. And then I have another cover I'll show later on. Again, no particular order on these. Book I'm still enjoying, Ronin Island number 4. Right here. They had a few covers, but some of the covers were damaged at my comic shops, so I wasn't going to grab them because, again, I'm not going to grab a book just to grab it. If it's damaged, I'm going to be out of luck unless they get some new ones in. That's just how I am. That's why when people buy books from me, when I had my space or when I'm going to reopen my space, they know the books are going to be in the best possible condition for that issue. Another cover of Jughead the Hunger versus Vampironica. Really cool cover there as well. I think I kind of like the headless cover where she's holding the head, but this is also a pretty nice cover. Again, these were cover purchases here, but I do love the Archie Horror series, so I'm kind of enjoying that. Black Cat, new book came out, really nice. Some different covers here. Here is probably the nicer of the group. This was the variant edition here, really nice looking. Here's another cover here. A blank cover. And I guess a cosplay style cover. So the one thing I don't like is when Marvel comes out with books, and even DC for that matter at times, they'll bring up like, 8 or 9 covers, regular covers. Don't need that many covers. Do a book, put a cover out, and leave it at that, because some of the cost factors on some of these new issues are getting way out of line, and you got the idiots like me who will buy the different covers to show them on the site or to have them, but then a lot of people can't afford those, and so they're not able to buy as much as they would like. So let's tone it back a little bit, Marvel and DC, okay? Just kind of a weird book here. This was Dead Sonja. This is from Keenspot Comics. This was a retailer exclusive, and the thing I found funny about this is the variant cover was cheaper than the regular cover. Go figure that out. Again, nothing great, but it's, small press and just kind of a funny, it's a zombie book, so I like those. This was the topless version of the Bettie Page number 1, Unbound. Nothing great, but it's Bettie Page, and I love Bettie Page, so got to have a sexy Bettie Page on every video, or a nice Elvira cover. Harley Quinn 62, regular cover. And then it wouldn't be a Harley Quinn without a Chubby Cho cover. Again, just makes the ladies look a little thick, so he probably likes that. That's good for him, but I've just never really been, drawn to that type of artwork as it relates to the characters that he draws. I bought this for the cover. This is kind of cool. Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, number 2. Just kind of like the artwork. Kind of a early throwback Ninja Turtle style, so I kind of liked it, so I bought one. There's another sexy Bettie Page. Love me some Bettie Page. And yes, she was a little thicker than most women, but that's a real woman right there. Sorry to say. We talked about my love for comic books and storylines that come from the view of animals. Beasts of Burden number 2. Right there. A new one from Devil's Due Comics. I pre-ordered this, and I was happy that it came in. This is Boogly Heads. Misspelled that, but mispronounced it, but you know what? It's pretty cool. Threshold Allure number 2. This is a bondage adult cover. A little graphic in nature for some of you. I apologize if you are offended. Incredible Hulk Last Call number 1. It's not going to match up to Immortal Hulk, but it's a #1, and the cover was really cool. That's Hulk in all of his glory right there. And then, of course, Deceased #2, regular cover here. There are a couple of really cool covers coming out for issues 3 and 4. I saw a Joker one that was coming out. It looked really, really cool. So I am looking forward to that. And let's see if I can find the other. Here's the other Deceased cover. This was the Superman Deceased. Really, really cool. If you haven't read the storyline, it's actually pretty neat. And there's a good Batman twist on it in this issue here. So there's that. From Scout Comics, Category 0, #1. A lot of places didn't order it. I had to pre-order this one, and I was happy that it came in. Speaking of sexy ladies, a little Elvira action right there. Gotta love Elvira. Oh, that's, excuse me, Elvira #3. And then Walking Dead 192, the regular cover right there. Of course, the day of, there were a few copies on the shelves, and then people found out what the story was, and everybody started running around. So I got a lot of those copies, but I pre-ordered them because I read the previews and knew it was coming up. This is Tony Stark Iron Man #12. Really cool Virgin variant right there. My favorite cover for Deceased was the Nightmare on Elm Street homage right there. I love that cover. The original movie poster is what it looked like here. So really cool. And again, like we stated in the last video, Deceased is going to be doing a horror movie homage every issue. So I am looking forward to putting a couple of those sets together because I think down the road, those are going to be very desirable to horror collectors. Really nice cover of Savage Avengers #2 right there. Batman 72B cover. And Batman 72 regular cover. Those were the books I picked up. A real big week. Seems like every week is a big week. So I just kind of cringe when I gotta, reach into my pocket and pull that large sum of money out. But you know what? It's going to, an inventory system, and it's going to ultimately come back around. So I enjoy showing the books to everybody. So the expense is no big deal for me to do that. Someone asked me a question as it relates to, there's been a lot of comic book shops that have been closing down lately all over the country. And some of these shops, if you're looking online, some of these shops have been open. I know there was one that I think it was back east or Midwest area that I saw was there since the mid-70s and just recently closed down. And people are like, why would a shop have to close down? So a shop can succeed if it has a proper business plan. And so I'm going to give you, my 4 biggest reasons why a comic shop will ultimately shut down if they're doing these things here and they're not doing things correctly or managing themselves, they will shut down. So here are 4 of the main reasons why a comic book shop gets in trouble and ultimately will close. #1, poor inventory. If a person's going to open up a comic book shop and use their private collection, you've already set up to fail. My private collection is never for sale. I'm never going to sell any of those books. Everything that I have is ultimately collections I have bought recently. There's not a whole lot I need in my private collection. Every once in a while I will see a book at a show, a pre-code book that I enjoy. But the stuff I'm buying now, none of that's going to go in my private collection. My private collection is mostly gold and silver and early bronze. I'm very happy with that, and I do have multiple copies of books because I'm stupid that way, that I'll buy a cover that I like and just continue to buy it. So everything that you see on these videos, all the vintage books I show, like I said, with the exception of some of the pre-code stuff, all that's going to be in my inventory. I think my inventory right now for a comic shop is about 70,000 books, which is a pretty nice size inventory. So I am excited about that. And I have to pay for, storage unit fees and things like that because, a house can only have so many things in it. And as you can see, I have a ton of interests that I like. So, my wife gets a little crazy like that. But my inventory for my space when it opens up will be between 60 and 70,000 books. So I'm excited about that. But if you're selling just your private collection, you're going to fail real quick. #2, bad box customers. Box customers don't seem to realize that you have to pay for those books. Shops just won't get the books for free, and then if you don't buy them, no big deal. Most shops, and I'm talking 85% and up, shops that close ultimately close because of poor box customers, because they have to put all that money in there. There's a documentary on where a guy shows his box customers and he says there is $30,000 worth of books sitting back there that box customers have never picked up. If you are a box customer, pick up your damn books, help your local business out. So when I open up my space, my box customers are going to be handpicked initially. That first year is always the most important on a new business. And even though I know I'm going to be extremely successful, I'm going to be picky about who I get, because I don't want to spend $300-400 a week on books that no one's ever going to pick up. I don't need all that in my back inventory. So box customers, bad box customers, good customers help you thrive. Bad customers drag you down. Overspending by shop owners. There are people who have to buy a bunch of books, but you have to understand you need to set a budget when you do your business model, and you should only be able to spend X amount of money every week. And no matter how much you want to spend more money than that, you have to stay within a budget, especially that first year as you're building your business, building your inventory, building your customer base. So you can't spend, X amount of money on books. If your budget is $350 or $400 a week from Diamond, which ultimately is $1,600 a month, you have to stick to that. And believe me, that might not seem like a lot of books, but when you don't have a lot of customers coming in, or you don't have a lot of box customers that first year, every penny you save is ultimately going to be successful. A customer overspends, you're just going to have a lot of inventory that you can't move, and then you're spending a lot of money that you can use in other directions to either fix your shop up or bring in older collections or whatever it is you need to do. So don't overspend on new stuff if you can't afford it. And again, a bad business plan. Bad business plan is someone who didn't look into their area. A customer, of course, we all do this because we love the comic book industry. We love buying books, and we all have our favorites. That's the biggest thing with comic book people, is that everybody has their favorite character. But if you're going to open up a shop, you can't base your shop on only the things that you like. There was a shop here locally a while back that went under real quick, and I knew they would. He was a huge Star Trek fan, and all he bought was Star Trek. Well, that's fine, because there's a lot of Star Trek fans out there. But if you want to be successful, you need to widen and expand your business and your interest group. So, I may not like a superhero. We'll just, I love Batman and the Joker, obviously, but let's say I wasn't a Batman fan. I'm going to not buy Batman stuff because that's what's going to sell. So if you want to do this, understand that you may have a certain interest, and that could be your expertise area of what you do in your shop, but you have to be able to open up to the entire industry and bring a bunch of stuff in, because if you don't, you're going to fail. So those are quick 4 reasons why it was a question that was brought up. So I hope that answered your question a little bit. And so again, that's pretty much all we have this week. There's a horror convention I'm going to tonight, Days of the Dead here in Vegas. I'm very excited about that. So I'm going to have to get ready to go do that. And again, I appreciate all the support, all the viewers on the video. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. And again, if you didn't like the video, or, I'm so tired, I'm sorry. So that's all we got this week. So I hope you liked the video, but as always, if you didn't, nothing I can do for you. Have a great, great day. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Tell a friend. I'll see you real soon.